record here on this computer. Okay, great. Welcome everybody to Star School. We're starting a leadership development course today that I'm so excited about, and we're excited to have you here with us on this journey of leadership development. And I was just saying, we're actually broadcasting this live on Facebook every Thursday afternoon. This will be recorded. We'll put it on our blog. We're going to have a podcast that you may be listening to right now on these leadership laws and this leadership development course. But I was just mentioning that I met John Maxwell over 20 years ago. And I have a master's degree in nutrition. I love helping people get healthy. I love teaching people the skills of building a business. I won Trainer of the Year, and that's all based on skill development, building your skills on building a business. But what I'm mostly passionate about is leadership development, teaching people how to become better leaders. I think that's the most important thing there is. And Cheryl and I were reading a book recently called The One Thing by Gary Keller. And I love this quote or this question that Gary asked in this book. What's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will become easier or unnecessary? And Cheryl and I were like, wow, that's a great question. You know, what's the answer? So we talked about it, and there's a lot of different things here at Longevity, you know, that's very, very important, the products and the compensation plan. And again, the skill building and all these things are important. But the most important thing, the one thing, is develop leaders, with the end goal being that we want to help you develop an amazing inner circle around us. And we look at Cheryl's business, we look at my business. You know, why have we been so successful? And it's, you know, and the answer to that is because we surrounded ourselelves with the best of the best. We surrounded ourselves with great people that make us look great. And that's the truth. I mean, you know, Cheryl will go on stage and she'll get all these awards, and I'll go on stage and I'll get all these awards, and we both will be the first to admit it. It's not really us. I mean, sure, we have a part or play in this whole thing, but it's really the team around us that has made us who we are today, and makes us look better than really who we are. So, you know, we've also read a book recently called Peak Performance Habits by Brendon Burchard. And there's 6 peak performance habits that Brendon talks about. And the number one habit is seek clarity. And that's something that Cheryl and I have spent a lot of time on in the past 6 months. We're always seeking clarity. And Brendon goes on to say the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. Well, the main thing to Cheryl and I is developing leaders. That's where we want to put our focus. That's why we've started these Thursday afternoon this Thursday afternoon leadership development course, so that we can help you become a better leader. So, you know, you have to ask yourself, what do you want to be known for? And of course, Cheryl and I both are product experts. We're known for people that help people get healthier. That's what Dr. Wallach's message is all about. That's what Longevity is about. But to be honest with you, we're not here to sell products. We're not here to help you get healthier today. We're not helping you to teach you how to lose weight today. We're not selling you a CEO pack. What we do is we want to help you develop leaders, and we want to be known and have that maybe that title behind us, that I develop leaders. This is what I do, and this is what I want to be known for. And this is what Cheryl and I suggest to all of you listening today or watching today here on Facebook, to start getting that mentality that what I do in life is I develop leaders. And if you start having that mentality, your whole life will change. Your whole business will change. All of your relationships will change, because that becomes your focus, that you're developing leaders. So when we come to you from a place where we love and respect all of you, and we really want to help you become better leaders, and not only just become better leaders, but improve your life and help improve the lives of the people around you. Really live that life of contribution, where you're focusing on growing yourself and then taking what you've learned and then contributing it to others to make other people's lives better. That's really what life is all about. So over the next 21 weeks, we're going to be going over the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. It's a book written by John Maxwell. And we really have over 2 years planned out ahead of us on a leadership development course that we promise you will absolutely change your life. So we're excited to be on this journey with you once again. And this book that we're starting with, the 21 Laws of Leadership, is really what I consider the Bible of leadership. You know, we have the Bible and we all follow the Bible, but we also have, a leadership book that is the Bible to learning how to become a better leader. And I love the tagline to this book where John says, follow them and people will follow you. So if you follow these 21 laws of leadership, people will follow you. So John goes on to talk about that a leader that has no one following them is just taking a walk. And my belief is that a lot of people are watching or listening to this program right now, and you look behind you and you see that nobody's really following you. You know, that you're just out taking a walk right now, and you don't have the people following you. So what Cheryl and I want to do is help you become a better leader so that people are following you. You know, my mentor over 20 years ago showed me this book, and it's completely changed my life. Not only have I read this book multiple times, like dozens of times, I've gone on to become a John Maxwell certified leadership trainer, which was a great growing experience for me. And I'm so excited to bring these leadership laws and this leadership course to all of you with Cheryl Morley, who I think is one of the greatest leaders I've ever met in my life. She's built an incredible business. She does over $14 million a month in sales. She's such an inspiration to literally tens of thousands of women and men. I mean, she's looked at as one of the top female network marketers in the whole industry. So Cheryl, I know you're with us here on Facebook. Welcome to the call today.
Oh my gosh. Hi, Paul. Thank you so much. You said so many incredible things, and I'm just really super excited to be here today and to just talk about some of these really neat things that you mentioned. And I don't know if it's just me, but have any of you ever felt like the word clarity is a bit elusive? Would be a good word, because that's how I felt a lot. And so it's taken me quite a while to really get centered and get focused. And you know what? It all started with leadership for me. So I'm super excited. I feel, I feel like I finally have clarity, and I'm super excited to go through these next, are you kidding me, 2 years? I'm like a fly by the seat of my pants type of gal. So 2 years already ready to trade on is just absolutely incredible. So it's super exciting though to me. So first of all, we've got 3 new things that we've really, Paul and I spend a lot of time talking about you. You know, we really do, because we care so much about each and every one of you, about do you have what you need? You know, how can we be more helpful? How can we be there? How can we train? How can we make this duplicatable? So all of those things. So I'm really excited about 3 new things. One of them is the plan, and Paul and I do that at 8 p.m. On Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern on Thursday night, something called the plan. That's an overall, like a mile-high view of longevity, why we love it, why we're involved, and why we think you should get involved. So that's something that's new for us, and I just absolutely love it. Somewhere that you can send anybody really to see that, and please do, because it's that overall view, the mile-high view, is unlike anything I've ever seen in longevity. So it's super awesome. The second thing is we have something called a Getting Started module. So that's up and coming, almost here, almost ready. It's so awesome because it's going to just lead you step by step, which is what I like. I love step by step through building your business, building a very successful business. And then the last thing, of course, is this leadership development course. This is fantastic. So let's get started. Let's talk about, Paul and I have 5 goals for each of you. And this is the things that we want to accomplish. These are the things that we want to do over these next 21 weeks of our leadership course. So the very first one is to help you raise your leadership score. This is called the law of the lid. We want you to raise that. On a scale from 1 to 10, we want you to be a 10, right? And we'll talk a little bit more about scoring yourself as we go on. Number 2 is we want to help you attract other people that will follow you. Okay, and that's law number 7. So as we go through these weeks, there's different laws that we're going to be talking about. Law number 7, the law of respect. And that law states that people only follow stronger leaders. So if you're a 2, a 10 will not follow you. Okay, that's what that means. So it's super, super important to think about. And this is the question I always ask myself. Would you follow you? I ask myself that every single day now. Would I follow me? Would I follow the type of person that I am? That's how, that's kind of how you know how you're doing, right? If you would follow you. Number 3 is to help you create your inner circle of your core 12 people. So we want you to find 12 core leaders that are going to be with you. You're going to, and our whole goal here is for you to find those 12 people and for you to bring them to the leadership course. We're gonna train them. We're gonna talk to them. We're going to help them become better leaders. But then you're gonna meet maybe at a different time, really get together. How is this leadership course helping you? What did you learn? How did you learn? Score each other. That's always good too, because we want, and then number 4 is get you to the level where you're able to raise the lid of those, of your core 12, okay? So this is so exciting to me because I never thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to be able to raise the lid of somebody else, but that's exactly what we have to do. And then number 5 is we want to help you achieve your longevity wealth goal. All of you should have a longevity wealth goal, meaning how much money do you want to make, right? That's what that means. So here's the deal. But it's awesome because the 12 people around you are your 12 core people. As you're becoming a better leader, as you're helping them become a better leader, you not only have time freedom, you have financial freedom. It's just natural. That's just the way it works. So it's just a natural progression. So I love that. So those are the 5 goals that we want for each and every one of you. The goals that we want to set, and those are our really our hopes and dreams for you. Like Paul mentioned a little bit earlier, we absolutely love you. We want to help you become a better leader. So the book, The 21 Laws of Leadership, teaches us that everything rises and falls based on leadership. If volume goes up, so if your volume goes up, it's because of great leadership. If volume goes down, it's because of bad leadership. It's really as simple as that. So why have we been so successful here at Longevity for the past 20 years? You guys, we have Dr. Wallach. He is the best leader that I have ever met. He really is. He's got the best health message. He's got in the world, right? I mean, 90 for life. He's got, he really wants to do this. He's got influence, right? He's super, super influential. And he was in my life. He changed my life. I got to work with him day in and day out. And he really led by example. And I learned all of the laws of leadership really through watching Dr. Wallach day in and day out. We've got his son, Steve Wallach, leading us by creating these great products. There's nobody that has products like we have, ever. And then we've got Dave Brisky. I mean, he is fantastic president. Do you think we'd be on the NASDAQ without, ringing the bell on the NASDAQ without Dave Brisky? I don't think so. He's done things that nobody in this industry have ever done. And you guys, we have top leaders, right? We have top leaders in the whole network marketing industry. Tom Chenault and Denise, really? Fantastic. Scott Bardulis and Juliet, wonderful leaders. Dr. Corey Gold and Adrian, they're fantastic. Dr. Ariaza and Avelia, I know you all know them. Paul Croto, right? And so many other leaders. So many others. So it's all because of leadership. Everything rises and falls with leadership. That's why we've been so successful for the last 20 years, are these great leaders. Okay, but everything rises and falls with leadership. But if Dr. Wallach was enough, or if our fantastic, you guys all know this, our products are the best. I really believe that. I don't only believe that, I know it, right? I know it from the bottom of my heart. Or if our great corporate team was enough, if all of these things that we had were enough, then you would be a multi-millionaire here at Longevity right now. That's the hard truth, right? That you have to become a better leader in order for your volume to go up and for you to create more one-star legs. That's the bottom line. You have to become a better leader. I have to become a better leader. Okay? So you guys you saw this. Any of you that went to convention, there were people on stage at convention who were making a few $100s a month, and there were people that were making a few $1 million a year. What was the difference between them? Think about this. I love these questions. Okay? People making a ton of money, people making a little tiny bit of money. What's the difference? Okay? Were they selling different products? No. Did we have different compensation plans? No, everybody has the same fantastic compensation plan. What about the message? Is the message different? Are different people using a different message? Is Dr. Ariaza using a different message than you're using? I don't think so. We're all using the 90 for life message. Okay? How about getting in at the right time? Do you think that has anything to do with it? Okay, no, Dr. Ariaza was sitting in the back of the room 4 years ago. Paul Chrono's only been with Longevity for 5 years. Okay, 5-star. He's a 5-star. Both of them 5 stars. So it doesn't have anything to do with the right time. Okay? The reason why people make more money at Longevity than others is because they are simply better leaders. They have more people following them. So here's our $1 million question to you. Are you willing to do what it takes to become a better leader? Now this is serious. I want you to really think about this. Are you willing to do what it takes to become a better leader? That is the $1 million question today. So Paul and I, over the next 21 weeks, we will teach you exactly what it takes to become a better leader, okay? And the first step is to figure out where you are right now as far as your leadership ability goes, okay? So you have to know where you're at. We have to have a starting point, and it doesn't matter where you are. Believe me, it does not matter where you are. It doesn't matter where you start. It only matters where you finish. I just added that. But I love that quote. It doesn't matter where you start. So we all have to have a starting point, okay? So that's what law number 1 of the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership is all about. It's about the law of the lid, okay? The level of your leadership determines the level of your team's success. Okay, let's listen to that again because that is super, super important. The level of your leadership determines the level of your team's success. So what this law is saying is that on a scale from 1 to 10, you can't be a 4 as a leader and have a perfect 10 team. You can't do it. It just does not work that way. So where are you at? Okay? Where are you at? You have to think about where you're at. And you have to, so we're going to score ourselves. Paul's going to come on in just a second and discuss how we're going to score ourselves. Okay? But just remember that if you're a 4 in leadership ability, the best your team can ever be is a 4. So I love this analogy. So here you are, and let's say you're a 4, right? Your team can never, ever be above what you are. So you're a 4, your team will never be better than a 4, okay? I don't want that. I want a 10 team. I want a 10. I'm all about 10. So Paul, I'm going to turn it over to you and tell us how we score ourselves. This is super exciting.
It is, Cheryl, and that was so powerful, everything you just said. And what really stuck out to me was, you talked about, do we have like different products for different people to sell? And then, we all have the same exact product line, the same exact message. So it really comes down to leadership. Like you said, it took me a while to really understand that, like, wow, it must be this or must be this or this. Like, what really is it? Why are some of these people making just a few $100s a year and these other people are making a few $1 million a year? Like, how could that be? And there's only one answer to that. It's leadership. They're a better leader. So yes, Cheryl and I are so passionate about getting on these calls and helping you become a better leader. And as Cheryl said, what we got to do right now is find out what the heck the starting point is for you. Where are you at right now? So we're going to take you from Y to Z, excuse me. And we got to figure out where Y is. And we know we want to get you to a 10, but the question is, where are you right now? So this is how we're going to run this leadership scoring. We're actually going to score you on every single law. We're going to send out a score sheet that you can keep track of. But for today, what we want to do is just get you on a scale from 1 to 10 on where you think your lit is, where your leadership ability is at. So a 10 is perfect. A 9 is excellent. 8 is great. 7 is good. 6 is above average. 5 is obviously average. Now 4 is going to be below average. 3 is poor. 2 is very poor. 1 is terrible. Okay. And like Cheryl said, it does not matter where you are today. You know, a lot of people are going to be poor or very poor. You know, they're going to be a 2 or a 3. It's going to be low. And that's fine. It's just a starting point, you know, as we're going to be talking about today and then throughout the course. Leaders are not, of course, leaders are born, but they're not born being great leaders. You got to learn all this stuff. I had to learn all this stuff. I was horrible 20 years ago when I picked up this book. I didn't understand leadership. I was a horrible leader. I was running a health club. I didn't know what I was doing. But over the years, I went from one terrible. I promise you, I was terrible, really bad. So, but I grew, and I was able to grow because I studied this book, and I started getting people to follow me, and then I got better and better and better. But it takes a while. This is absolutely a process. So if you're kind of confused, you're like, well, I have no idea what score to give myself. Kind of use the longevity compensation plan is a great tool to use to determine where your lit is. Now, this isn't the only determinant you are determined to use to figure out where your score is at, but it's a pretty good one. So number one, if you're a 1, you're terrible. You're not leading anyone. You're not leading yourself or anybody else. And this is kind of where we all started. We were all a prospect once. We weren't even taking care of our own health or running our own business, let alone trying to help anybody else. So you start off as a 1. 2, you decide to take back control of your health. Like I'm going to lead myself now. Okay, I'm going to take my health out of the doctor's hands and put it in my own hands now. I'm going to take control of my own life here. And you're a 2. You decided to do something about it. And then you maybe became a sales associate here at Longevity. You're a 3 then. You had to influence 3 people to take 90 for life. So you got some customers. That's fantastic. Then you move up to a 4. You're a sales associate. We got your volume up to $1,000. That's awesome. So 4, is like below average still, but you're moving up at least. Now we consider if you're a 5-star here at Longevity, you're like a 5. Okay, you're average. That's good. That's a good starting place. You've helped 3 people get to sales associate. You got $5,400 in volume. That's good. Now to be considered above average, this is really where leadership starts kicking in, where you've developed other 1-stars. And that's why Cheryl and I developed this whole thing called Star School. We want you to become and create stars here at Longevity, hence the name Star School. So that's what this is all about. So really, for me to call you a 6 and above average leader, you've got to be at least a 2-star. Because now you've proven to the world that not only can you make it to the top of the mountain, but you can take other people there with you. And I consider, 1-star the top of the mountain. You made it. Now it's, can you bring other people up to that level and get to that 1-star rank? And that's what 2-star is all about. So 7 would be 3-star. You've helped now 5 people get to 1-star. So now you've really proven yourself. 8 is 4-star, where you've helped 6 people get to 1-star. 9 would be a 5-star. If you made it to 5-star, you've helped 9 people become a 1-star. I mean, you've really proven yourself. So I would, now I'm a 5-star. Do I consider myself a 9 leader? I'm not sure. I'm still working on it. And this is a growing thing we're going to go through together. So, I definitely think I'm good. Maybe a lot of people think I'm great. I don't know. Somewhere's in that 7, 8 range. Am I a 9? Again, I'm not sure. But, I'm in that ballpark at least now. And then Cheryl's 10. She's an ambassador. Now, you ask Cheryl, Cheryl, do you think you're a 10 leader? And she'll probably say no. And she'll go into that in a little bit here. But, that's where you've helped all 12 of your people get to 1-star. You created some 4-stars. You've done a lot, here at Longevity. And that's why there's only, what is there, Cheryl, 4 or 5 ambassadors here at Longevity?
Yes.
So it's an elite crowd, to get to that 10 level. And I'll tell you, if we interviewed those 10 or 5 ambassadors, they would not say they're at a 10 themselves. So again, this is just something to use to kind of gauge where you're at, but I think it's a pretty good gauge on that. And Cheryl, kind of weigh in, if you would, on this scoring thing and give some light on it from your perspective.
Well, I love that, Paul. I think it's so funny that you would say 10 because you're right. There is no way. I mean, I'm so grateful though. You guys, I'm so grateful that we can continue to grow and learn, because I thought, and I've said this so many other times, I thought that you just were born with whatever number you were. And if you're a leader, you're a leader. If you're not, you're not. So then when I figured out that, oh my gosh, I can become a better leader, I can become, whatever, I can grow and I can learn and I can make a huge difference, much bigger difference than I ever thought possible. That is what is super exciting to me and what really moves me. But let me tell you something that was very hard for me, because as you guys are deciding where you're at to start, let's see. So I had the hardest time looking in the mirror. And what I mean by that is, if you have a problem or you're not where you want to be, or you're thinking, I'm just not growing fast enough. A lot of times we think it's somebody else's fault, right? So something would be happening. For instance, I lost an entire leg. I'm just going to tell you guys this quick little story. I lost an entire leg, a 1-star leg. I lost the entire 1-star leg for whatever reason, right? But I had a billion reasons why. And I can promise you, none of it had to do with me. I was like, oh, my goodness, this happened and this happened and this happened and then this happened. And you know what? I never once mentioned myself, because I just didn't look at it like that and I couldn't see it like that. So when I very first started this whole training, and I was training with Paul, and like he said, he's a John Maxwell leadership coach. Let me tell you what that means. That's 5 years of training to be a coach. A leadership coach. You have to do it for 5 years before you can even be considered to be a leadership coach. So that was fascinating to me in itself. So we're super lucky to have Paul on the call, and super lucky to have him helping us training us in this course. But the number one thing that Paul said to me, like on day one, was, you need to look in the mirror. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, what? He said, you need to look in the mirror. Whenever you have a problem, whenever you think my team's not this, my team's not that, this isn't going right, I lost a leg, someone quit, someone did this, someone did that, whatever the reason is, I promise you, you have something to do with it. So let's get up and look in the mirror first off, and then we can go from there. And you guys, that was such an eye-opener to me. I was like, wait, what? Wait, no, I'm not talking about me. But that's the whole point, right? It is about you. It's all about you. So you've got to think of these things as you're scoring yourself. And let me tell you, I've got such a long ways to go yet that we got to keep going, because I still have a lot to cover. I still have a lot to do for myself, to continue on this leadership path. But how great is it that we get to be on it, and we get to be on it together? So what I want you guys to do, score your leadership ability and share that score with a friend, okay? You need to share the score and see if they agree with you, right? And you want to do it with a friend, somebody who knows you, not too close. I wouldn't ask a spouse probably, because might get into trouble there. But really share it with a friend and see if they agree with you. Okay, score yourself and share it with your senior business partner and see if they agree with you. Like what you believe your score is. See if they think that's right. See if they think you're right on. I want you to score the leadership ability of each of your top leaders. Okay? So that's super important. Write get out a piece of paper, write their name down, and this is your inner 12. This is your 12 core people. Write down what you believe their leadership number is, what their score is, okay? You're probably going to realize that you have a bunch of average leaders on your team, right? And let me tell you, I love the way Paul did this if you are not a 1-star, you're not even a 5 yet. That's okay. It's okay. We're just starting out. But make sure you know where you are so that you can at least start. Okay, we need that starting number. Okay? So what I'm telling you here on today's call is that in order for your volume to go up, and you guys have heard this a couple of times, you need to be committed to raising your leadership lid. And you need to become what is known as a lid lifter. Don't say that 10 times, okay? No, I love this. A lid lifter. And you need to be committed to helping your leaders raise their leadership lid. I love that. That's like one of my favorite things. I'm a lid lifter, okay? We all know what that is. Our inner circle, our inner group here knows what the lid lifter is. And listen, we might ask you that. How's your lid lifting going? Okay? But I love that. Okay? We're proud to call ourselves lid lifters. We help people go from having a leadership lid of 4 or 5 to having a leadership lid of 9 or 10. And here is the good news. And this might be the best news ever. It's definitely the best news in my life. Whatever your score is today, it can go up. Leaders are not born, they are grown. Okay? So you guys, here is your homework for today. Super important. Remember, I want you to remember that when life gets hard, when the whirlwind comes in and starts whipping you around, and today I had to go get my little girl from school, she was sick, all of these things are going to happen. Something's going to happen. Okay? But when it does, I want you to remember that your leadership score can and will go up. If you're committed to doing this, if you're committed to meeting with us, if you're committed to doing your homework. And here's your homework. We've already talked a little bit about it. So again, don't forget, score your leadership ability and share it with a friend and see if they agree with you. Do the same thing with your senior business partner. Score yourself, business partner. See if they agree with you. And then score the leadership ability of each of your top leaders. Okay, because we need a starting point for everyone. You guys get them on this call. We want to help them. We want to help you help them. Okay? And then the last one, number 4, for your homework this week. Make sure that you read chapter 2 of the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And we will be going over that next Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern, same exact time, same place, okay? Paul, do you want to end with anything?
No, that was absolutely fantastic, Cheryl. Again, we've said it 100 times already today. We're extremely excited to be here with all of you. This is the most important thing you can possibly do for yourself is be involved in this leadership development course. It will make the biggest impact on your life, on your longevity business, and the people around you. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in today. Take this seriously. Do the homework like Cheryl went over, and we will see you next week.
Bye, you guys. Have a good week. See you tonight. The Plan.
ComeSeeThePlan.com.
8 p.m. Eastern.